there's a...
I met Donald Trump at some parties I attend that I was working for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. There was about 3 or 4 times that I had encounters with Donald Trump. I was 13.
There are allegations, multiple allegations, that he committed sexual assault against minors.
So this evidence was handed over to Ghislaine Maxwell. It holds open the possibility that Maxwell could use it as leverage over the Trump administration.
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Welcome to the Digital Diner. Katie and Jamie and Blue in Dallas. Blue, you there?
Yes, I am.
Yay. Hi, Blue.
Hey.
I'm getting started with Epstein and we'll wander off. But this story I got up here, Roger Sollenberger, former Daily Beast.
Everything's repeating, Craig.
Has put a couple of things together. Repeating? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Anybody else got repeat going on?
No.
You might have a speaker on that's pulling in the audio and replaying it or something on your machine. See about that. We'll get in and we'll see if we can fix that. But this reporter, Roger Sollenberger, put together a couple things. The bottom line is that that Maxwell got some stuff of a witness interviewed by the FBI who said when she was 13, Trump assaulted her, and it's not been made public despite all these releases of Epstein records, but it was given to Ghislaine Maxwell. You follow this story pretty close, Blue. Does that track pretty much where we stand?
And
This is pretty new.
Well, here's the thing. I've heard about this for weeks and weeks, and months actually, that there was a 13-year-old girl, but for the last couple of weeks, that the FBI interviewed her 4 times, and that there was what they call a 302 form filled out on her.
Yeah, and they said that she was a credible witness.
Yeah, and that came. You don't interview somebody 4 times if they're not a credible witness,
right?
And that came out in the last document dump, but the story about her had been out there even longer.
Right. What's new that this reporter I got on the screen right here pulled together is that record of that testimony, whatever she told FBI, which is not public now, as part of Ghislaine Maxwell's case, the prosecutors handed over that information, meaning that Ghislaine Maxwell has in her possession what apparently the FBI thought were credible charges of Trump sexually assaulting her when she was 13. That's what makes it a new angle.
Well, just tell her that she has to go back to maximum security and they're going to take her puppy away.
Right. Well, so here's just a bit of this. This guy on the right here is Roger Sollenberger, formerly with the Daily Beast, and who pulled all this together, and he talks a little bit about it here.
Talking to Roger Sollenberger, formerly of the Daily Beast, award-winning investigative reporter, who, from the Epstein files, folks, he found it. It's all there. You could go see it for yourself. He found a very credible allegation by a then 13 to 15-year-old girl accusing Donald Trump of sexual battery. This woman also accused Epstein. In 2021, folks, the Epstein estate settled with her. We know that the FBI flagged her case, flagged her story, and presented it within the DOJ in a presentation. This presentation and a slideshow. So if you look at the evidence before you, not only is she credible, but the Epstein estate found her, well, we assume credible enough that they settled with her. And the FBI did a slideshow presentation, and the FBI itself, not 2021, not 2019, 2025, right, Roger? Just less than a year ago. So what we're witnessing now is a young girl, now a woman, who is credibly accusing the president of the United States of raping her. And the Epstein estate settled with her in 2021. And the pattern of these two cases, or these two allegations, or rather I should say this one in particular, is consistent with other allegations, we should say. Now, that's not proof, but the stories keep adding up, Roger, of Donald Trump's alleged behavior of violence.
Could I like leap in real quick here?
You can leap in anytime you want.
So I do want to make this point because it's a question I've always had, and I don't see it really asked a lot. But you know, Donald Trump stole thousands and thousands of pages of sensitive government records, classified, some of it, not all of it, some of it national defense, right? You know, we know this. He kept them. He didn't give them back. He only gave a few back. Then he lied, had his lawyers lie for him, right? In the Jack Smith investigation, that case ended up getting squashed. Aileen Cannon running interference for Trump, you know, kept pushing the thing back. He gets elected, and then she effectively kills the case. Smith drops the prosecution because you can't charge a sitting president.
Well, there's a fun angle. The idea that in all those classified documents that Trump stole took to Mar-a-Lago, it might be some of the Epstein. And you guys might probably thought about that before. I never thought about that.
And the other thing is there's videotape of Pam Bondi at a dinner with somebody, and she said the thing is there are thousands of video. You know, they said, well, why don't you just release? And she said the thing is there are thousands of videos, and it's with little kids.
Huh.
Not with teenagers, not with minors. It's with little kids. So Pam Bondi said it. She did not know that she was on tape when she said it, but she said it. And where are they?
Jamie, how's your audio?
Fine now.
I wonder what was going on.
I think I had the web page open, and we might have been getting an echo off of that.
Yeah. I've learned that if you have two audio sources on, it'll start echoing in your head, and you'll lose your mind.
Right.
Now here's the woman everybody's talking about.
On my free will. No, there was nothing.
This is a 30-minute interview before she was going to do a press conference. Her lawyers and her handlers or whatever taped this interview with her where she goes into a lot of graphic detail. I won't go all the way into it. It goes on for 30 minutes. But this is the woman one of them anyway, that everybody's talking about, and here she is.
Promised to me for doing this interview.
Excellent.
Yes, everything that I say at this interview will be the truth. I met Donald Trump at some parties I attend that I was working for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. There was about 3 or 4 times that I had encounters with Donald Trump. I was 13. The first time that I met Donald Trump was at a party at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. I don't do well. I've been in a couple of relationships. I mean, they're never of interest to me normally, but one in particular that was a condom, apologized, profusely, and said that would never happen again. And she looked at me and scolded me basically like a child and said that, that's not how, Donald Trump always, anytime you touch his penis, it needs to have a condom on or a glove, and especially when it comes to performing oral sex. Well, he was a wonderful man, and at parties he would come over.
A sampling of what.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on like that. I just bounced around there for the heck of it, just to show some of the different things that she was saying. I mean, it goes on for 30 minutes like that, and it's pretty revolting, a lot of it.
Well, the Sasha Riley stuff is revolting. Mm-hmm. Some of the other things are revolting. There's stuff that ties people together that say, oh, no, we didn't have anything to do with that. And it's like, there's a circle. It's just like, and everybody's tied to it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He ran on releasing the files. Then he said, no, I can't. Then he called it a Democrat hoax. Well, why does a hoax need to be redacted so severely?
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing, it's like, it stinks to high heaven, and it is bad. It is bad. It is worse than I imagined. And there might be even worse stuff in there. I don't know. But something's got to happen. I mean,
but farther down on your webpage, Craig, I put up this interview with a woman who was a model. She was of age, but she talks about the whole party scene that existed between Epstein, Trump and all of the goings on. She doesn't accuse them of assault, but rather the whole atmosphere of what was happening at that time in New York. So it's rather interesting.
Yeah, there was a guy yesterday, I'll have to find him on YouTube, and he was standing in front of a building, and he said that it belongs to Les Wexner, and that's where they kept the girls. And then they would send them up to Epstein's apartment or wherever they were going to send them. But that was like their jail. And one girl was told, she was interviewed after that, and she said she was 15, and she said, he said, you're never getting out of here. You'll never get out of here.
Wow.
So,
is this what you're talking about here, Jamie?
I'm not sure.
It says Epstein made me dress like a nurse. Is that the one you were talking about?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
I felt like Jeffrey was sort of like the Empire State Building, another interesting aspect of New York to come and visit. Come and see this, come and eat that, come and meet Jeffrey Epstein. It just felt like another creature in the New York jungle to meet. And when we went to the house, that was then the time when I really started to just see the kind of seediness.
So today we're actually talking to someone who spent a lot of time with Jeffrey Epstein. She was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein. She actually went to Donald Trump's apartment with Jeffrey Epstein and has a fascinating insight on what it was like living in that model culture in the late 80s and the early 90s when Donald Trump was a colossus on the New York landscape and Jeffrey Epstein was his friend, often offering to bail him out. So, Cleo Glide, you are an Australian model. You're in your early 20s. You move to New York and you are introduced to Jeffrey Epstein. What was he like? What was your first impression? Tell us about hanging out with him.
Yeah, so I'd been a teenage model in Paris. I'd spent years at the Saint Laurent Couture House. And then, you're traveling in this gypsy caravan, Milan, Paris, Rome, and London. And I fell in love with New York and that energy at that time. At that time, my lived experience was he was a high society A-lister, a sort of an enigmatic Great Gatsby figure with these on paper ludicrously over the top accoutrement, like having a mansion that had parties. Models are essentially, even though you're very young and in many cases unsophisticated, you're aping a high fashion ideal. We have the keys to the city in London, Rome. So she said, I was thinking it could be someone interesting for you to meet. And this was not done, I hasten to add, in any sleazy way at all. It was more, out of all the men out there in New York, you should really meet him. But I know that I can't take on that level of player. Now, the context was Playboy. And at that point, it was way more James Bond than Darth Vader. It was hard to say because I never, ever, ever want to be an apologist for someone that caused so much destruction. And
you spent, how long was he a friend of yours for?
For years. For years, like especially in that early period where we were, he'd be someone I'd call. He would call back, or he would call me. At that time, we had.
Did she ever get into talking about Trump?
Yeah, I don't think that kind of an interview is actually helpful to the victims.
Right.
Because that is like saying, well, Hitler had dogs. He was good to dogs, so, which, it's the same thing. It's like, you can't say don't lionize somebody just because from the best thing that they ever did, or because, you don't get extra credit for not doing what you shouldn't be doing anyway. So I don't think those kind of
And I
interviews.
think it was a case of two different worlds where one kind of disguised the other.
Maybe so. Yeah, see, everything's on the up and up
here. What you saw
here.
was her interview was simply this: that is the world that New York City runs in. For her to get ahead in her career, she had to run in that world.
Well, but
now she doesn't participate in any of the stuff that worries you.
Oh, and it came out that Epstein's plane landed on...
And the general world's still there.
Apparently, Epstein's plane was used on British military sites.
Oh, boy.
That came
the
up
global the guy's global reach is what has
that's the
me.
thing. It's like the financial stuff needs to get unraveled, and they need to understand that everything it's not pointing to Russia, it's pointing to Israel. Everything's pointing to Israel. And what Lindsey Graham's lost his mind.
Yeah.
Or either that, or he was really drunk the other day. Talking about that the future wars are planned here and da 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 da, and it was like, wow. did he just leak accidentally? But
what is this, Katie? You found this thing from Aaron about Epstein had all these storage lockers or something?
Yes, listen to this. It's crazy.
Okay.
Now, the Telegraph is now reporting that Jeffrey Epstein paid private investigators to remove computers and other photographs and equipment from his home prior to police raids and hide them in storage units across the United States of America. Here's the kicker. Those storage units, according to the Telegraph, were never searched by federal or state authorities. So we don't actually know what's in them and what Epstein was trying to...
They're stored in Area 51.
That's
you know those shows where they go buy an abandoned storage locker?
Yes. What if someone bought it? Oh my God.
I think you have to be real careful.
What's gotten me about all this is how many things they actually didn't investigate. All the things we've learned that they did investigate.
Yeah.
There were so many things they avoided.
Yeah, well, I think we have to be real careful and not sound like we're UFO enthusiasts.
Well, apparently we got close enough to something that Trump decided he needed to release the UFO files. So,
right. Yeah. Hey, Winter's
something there. We don't have to make it up.
Yep.
Hello,
exactly.
Winter.
Exactly, Winter.
Now this thing I got on the screen here this is what's new about that I've been focused on is this here is the records that show what Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys were given during her trial from the DOJ, and those redacted lines there, those are all witness test interviews with women who accused Trump of sexual assault, and two of them say they were minors. One of them said she was 13. And the point I'm making here is these witness statements have not been released publicly, so we have not seen them publicly, but Ghislaine Maxwell has them. And that's what's interesting to me about where we stand is we have learned just in the last 2 or 3 days that she has witness statements of accusations about Trump assaulting minors that we, the public, don't have. And that might explain why she's in that cozy prison right now.
And why she hasn't been suicided, because that's her. It's probably got a kill switch on it. Like, if anything happens to me, it all goes public.
Right.
No.
I'm going to go find that other video. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. It's so It's just all so. And the thing is, these survivors, there are some survivors now that are coming out that haven't spoke before and talking about their stuff. Oh yeah. There was well, obviously there's Sasha Riley that we've talked about before. And then Sasha Riley said that there's 2 other people that are getting ready to come out with their statements. So
Well,
and when
I keep seeing numbers as high as 1,000.
Yeah. It was bad and terrible and horrible, and
it's just going to keep coming out all the way.
Yeah, my heart just
all the
breaks.
way to the.
I don't know. I really want something to come out of this, and it's not necessarily having, I don't know. I just want somebody to find something that is the smoking gun that nails all these people down to the ground.
Well, I agree with that, but I have a slightly different focus from the beginning. My whole interest in the Epstein case is depressing turnout of the maggot vote in the midterms, and
yeah,
and that's happening. They're increasingly pissed off that Trump's covering up this Epstein stuff. Not all maggots, but a big chunk of them. And I mean, these numbers that we just got this morning on Independence from CNN is just incredible.
As horrific as the sexual side of things are, I want the financial to come to light, because
yes, that too.
That is, I really want the whole Trump Tower to fall.
Fair.
The only way that can happen is if they get to the finances.
Yeah. Well, I can say this. My maggot mother-in-law, all she talks about is the fraud in Minnesota and why aren't they investigating it?
Yeah, they're chasing the squirrels, squirrels, chasing their neighbor. But these numbers on Independence and CNN this morning are amazing.
About what is driving this drop.
Where's my volume
What is driving this drop? I said record was the name of the game when it came to this segment, right? Talking about the lowest Trump has ever been going into the State of the Union, the lowest that any president has been this century going into a State of the Union at this point in their presidency. It is also the weakest that Donald Trump has ever been with independents. Look at this drop. We've been talking about it the past few months. At this point, a year ago, Donald Trump was at minus 13 points. Look at this. Minus 47 points among.
But also, I think part of
that's astounding. I've followed polls forever. I've never seen a swing like that within the independents. Don't move quick. They just don't move that much that quickly in general. Anyway. What were you saying, Katie?
Oh, I was just saying, part of this, it's the Epstein files that he promised to release that he didn't. But also, I think it's his behavior and what he's been doing, too. Or what his administration is doing. Not even just with ICE. And then the crazy crap he's doing with Venezuela. A lot of people liked that he did what he did for Venezuela. But I'm kind of like, good to get Maduro out. But then put the person that won the election in.
Yeah, take your pick. I mean,
right?
There's any number of things that are driving that independent vote down, but
just coming down now, non-emergency personnel have been ordered out of Beirut.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I saw that flash by this morning. What's that about? He's going to blow up something tomorrow night at the State of the Union. He's going to announce he blew up something, I think. Sent some missiles somewhere. He's such a drama queen. For State of the Union.
This idiot is going to get us into World War III unless Congress.
But how do you get into World War III? I mean, unless you, the only somebody that could start a World War III is maybe China. Russia can't do it. I mean, Russia's gone. They have absolutely ruined themselves in this war with Ukraine.
Yeah, I actually did a brief this morning for today.
Who's holding the ability for a nuclear explosion?
One thing about these, like Putin, he does want to survive. I mean, I think starting a nuclear war, he could get himself killed. I mean, that's the only thing that might hold him back.
Well, I think that's kind of been always the discussion with nuclear weapons. When Putin did the saber rattling, I didn't give much credence to it because he's not suicidal.
I did this going to their situation, and I'm looking at why Russia is not winning. I mean, no one's winning the Ukraine war, but Russia's not winning, which is the narrative we keep hearing these days. And I mean, they just obviously haven't been able to. 4 years later, it's still fighting, and they now control about 20% of Ukraine. That is an increase. I mean, I think they started somewhere around 7 to 10%, but they still only control about 20%. And then the cost. I mean, you see here 1.2 million casualties for the Russians, and they've gained 15. For 1 million casualties, they've gained 15 to 70 meters per day over the last year, which and then degraded military power. They've lost vast amounts of military hardware. I mean, it's like I heard one of the military guys say, for what we've spent to help Ukraine, to engineer a 15% cut in Russia's military power at a minimum is well worth the cost. It wasn't expensive what we did getting that result.
Well, there was a point there where Russia was bringing out old mothballed World War II tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's this narrative out there that, and you can point to some things that, Ukraine's got problems, but obviously mainly their infrastructure's just been devastated. Energy infrastructure in particular, but they're surviving. But this narrative that, it's all over, Russia won, and Zelensky just has to give up, that seems to be Trump's attitude. That's just not true.
No.
Well, that's where we really miss the United States leadership here.
Yeah.
Because we are at the point where somebody needs to set up and do serious negotiations and point out serious. Russia needs to back off for their own good, and Ukraine can't keep this up either. And neither one is going to give until somebody kind of points out they've got to. Both of them give them a good way to go. And there doesn't seem to be anybody, that used to be our job.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting. Judge Aileen Cannon has permanently blocked the release of Volume 2 of Special Counsel Jack Smith's report into the classified documents investigation of the President of the United States.
Boy, she's going to get her promotion one way or another.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but she gets overturned so quick you can't pay attention to things she does.
That's very true.
Problems.
Yeah, that 11th Circuit in Atlanta, they I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they've issued some of the most harsh rulings against her I've ever seen with appellate courts. Boom! Did you go get us some
No,
facts?
I couldn't find that video right now. But what I did see was that a federal judge in Washington has permanently barred the U.S. Department of Justice from releasing Jack Smith's Volume 2 report on the criminal
Oh,
case.
that's
I read that off.
Is
Katie
that
just
what you were
now
talking
reported
about?
that.
Yeah.
I reported
Eileen, what's her
Cannon.
name? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cannon. Yeah.
Yep. I know. I
She-
just saw that. So anyway, no, I couldn't find my video. I'll find it another time. I'll stick it on the trail.
She's on her way to a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of the circuit courts, the Supreme Court really should be 13, not 9. I wouldn't put it beyond Trump to try and pad it up to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Maybe now he'll decide to. You know what?
Yep.
Don't tell him. He'll do that. He'll try that.
Yeah, there should be one justice for every one of the appellate courts.
Yeah.
And you don't have to change the Constitution or anything. I mean, that's just a law you could pass.
Yeah.
Do that. I think one indication of where the Republicans think they are is that if I think before the midterms, if Clarence Thomas and Alito, or at least Clarence Thomas, because he's getting really old, resigns, that'll be an indication they're pretty sure they're going to lose the midterms. I was thinking about that because if the Democrats win the Senate, then he won't be able to get anybody confirmed that he truly want probably, and the only way to make sure they replace Clarence Thomas with somebody as crazy as he is if he resigned before the midterms and Trump can get him in. Now, how's that?
I think the only way you get
that theory.
I don't know. I think the only way you get Clarence Thomas out of there is if someone assassinates him.
Well, yeah, but if the billionaires tell him he's got to go, he has to because he works for them.
Well, he's in the Epstein files as having drugged and raped a 4-year-old. So.
What?
Yeah. Clarence Thomas is in there, a 4-year-old.
What?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's in the files. Mm-hmm. We should have listened to Anita Hill.
And all I could look at the time was Joe Biden's hair plugs. I still remember on a big wall of TVs at Montgomery Ward.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That was a turning point. That was. I mean, that was letting him in there. I'll never forget. I actually found the clip one time because I wanted to see if it happened as I remembered it, because I was covering the White House then, and when George W. Bush announced appointing Clarence Thomas, he came out and he said, George W. He was, I mean, not W, H.W. It's the father. He was so great because he would always say the quiet stuff out loud. He couldn't help himself, and so he announced, he talks about how qualified Clarence Thomas was. And then he just stops and he says, and nobody had asked him about it. He just stops. He says, and it's not because he's black. In other words, it's because he's black.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He was the only one we could find of that
Senator Danforth, and Danforth later said it was the biggest mistake he made.
That's right. I forgot it. Yeah, because Danforth, he was kind of his mentor or whatever. They usually have one senator sort of chaperone a Supreme Court nominee through the Senate and introduce them to all the Senate. That's right. Danforth was front and center for Thomas. I forgot about that. And he later recanted. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Danforth realized he thought he was conservative, but he didn't think he was nutball crazy.
Yeah.
That he would be a good conservative voice. But yeah, he's been rather him and Kavanaugh have to be they're proof anybody can be on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein wanted Kavanaugh to be on the Supreme Court too.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Boy.
Yep. Remember?
Have you read all those files?
I have read way too much.
I don't know anybody who knows
It's
so
like
much
I
about
have
what's
this.
in there.
I just I have read way too much because I do not like CSI or anything like that. But this stuff,
Yeah.
I think because I can filter it because I'm just reading it. Who was the lady that said that Kavanaugh had groped her Ford? Was her last name Ford? I think her last name was Ford.
Oh, the one who testified in
Yeah,
his
and there's an email in there from Jeffrey Epstein to somebody, and he's like, yeah, they always women whine and blah 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 and cause trouble blah 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 blah, and he wanted Kavanaugh to be. He thought Kavanaugh would be a good pick. So
well, it always bugged me that so much focus on those allegations of sexual misconduct, going all the way back to his college days. The thing I wanted them to focus on, and the Democrats just totally dropped the ball, and we still don't know to this day who paid off his house, his mortgage, and who paid all his credit cards. He ran up $50,000 in baseball tickets, and somehow mysteriously, and he was hugely in debt. And all of a sudden, mysteriously, all that debt was wiped away. His credit cards were paid, his mortgage was paid, everything was paid, and Democrats didn't even ask questions about that.
well, I wonder if it's
even ask questions about it.
I wonder if it's
So now that you're bringing in
files.
the Epstein connection, I'm thinking Epstein maybe Epstein paid for his baseball tickets.
Maybe.
I mean, that was on the record. He ran up. I mean, how do you do this? He ran up $50,000 in just Washington Nationals tickets.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, even if you go through a regular job interview, they check your FICO score. They make sure that you're not, in debt and that you're. I mean, they check those things just on a regular job. So
I think
They
with
got so carried
Kavanaugh,
away.
for me, with Kavanaugh, while the Democrats and the liberals and stuff were all salivating over the sex scandal part of it, is what was really bad. It wasn't what he did as a drunken teenager. It was that he got up in front of Congress and lied about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nobody seemed to want to talk about that.
Yep.
Part of it. I mean, I think there was credible evidence that he was an obnoxious little shit as a drunken. But for him to get up there and if he'd have just said, I was an obnoxious little shit as a teenager, and that was fucking 20 years ago, I think he'd have still got nominated. But he had to get up there and pretend like it didn't happen.
Which he's not good at doing because, like Lindsey Graham and Mike Johnson, his face turns red when he lies.
Now, what were you talking about with Lindsey Graham? What is it you were saying?
What was the quote? He was talking about future wars will be decided in Israel, and he was talking, that we answer to Israel, and it was like all pro. It was wild. I'll have to find it. But he looked like he looked very pale, but his capillaries were all bright red. So. Gin blossom.
I actually talked to a friend of Lindsay's one time, and I asked her, I said, what happened to him? And he says, McCain died. This guy explains Lindsay's behavior that McCain was Lindsay's daddy, and and kept him in line, and they were buddies, and he looked up to McCain. And I mean, daddy's kind of a silly term, I suppose. He didn't really mean it that way, but that he, that McCain, that Lindsey just one of those kind of people that needed, that depended on somebody for that sort of leadership, and that when McCain died, he switched to Trump, and that explains all his change in behavior. I don't know. That kind of made sense. I never thought of it that way, but I had seen over the years McCain and Lindsey were always together. I mean, they'd go to big DC events together and hang out.
Was kind of a mini-me for McCain, wasn't he?
Yeah, mini-me. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least McCain was, I hate to say it, because he was Republican, but at least he was a decent person, a decent man. But his daughter's gone off the deep end, is now a Trumper big time.
Mm.
Which is disappointing.
That's where the money is for.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that stuff with the people supporting Trump, you got to go back and see where they get their money.
Greg, I just put up a link to an article out of Israel about Graham's statement.
Okay, I think I have I might have the video here.
Here's the YouTube. I've got the YouTube. I'm putting it up there.
I think this is
you suffer. The most clever, creative military forces on the planet are here in Israel because they have to be to survive. So what we're looking at is that Israel is advancing down the road of new weaponry far beyond us. And it would be nice to have a process where we could be partners.
We have one more clip. Jasper, that's a great clip to get your take on because you've done so much work in the space. But let's roll E5 first, more of Senator Lindsey Graham.
Could our soldiers be hit in the region? Absolutely, they could. Can Iran respond if we have an all-out attack? Absolutely, they can. I think the risk associated with that is far less than the risk associated with blinking and pulling the plug and not helping the people as you promised.
So the future of war in Israel, Jasper, you know all about that. Tell us what Lindsey Graham would actually probably agree with you that he's talking about.
Yeah, I saw that clip, and I mean, it was one of these moments of like, I don't know if he could take it back, if he could, or if he just, wants to be saying the quiet part out loud. I mean, there's a number of things he could be talking about. One of them is, the fact that Israel is actually, testing out new weaponry, in many cases, American weapons, that will then, go straight to the American military after it's been tested out there. I think, of course, the U.S., many hawks in the government, including our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, have long wanted war with Iran. Israel is, of course, one.
I guess they don't know any better than any of us what he was what Lindsey was talking about.
And it sounds to me like they're doing the anti-Israel conspiracy stuff anyway.
Yeah. Huh. Now he was actually in Israel. Lindsey was saying that. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. He creeps me out to begin with. I really hope he gets unseated.
On other things, did anybody watch the closing ceremonies for the Olympics?
I did while I was at Dave & Buster's.
I didn't. What were they like? I didn't see them. I haven't even seen much talk about them. What did they do?
The biggest comment was Patel celebrating with
God.
So it kind of got overshadowed, but our girl Kate Hudson is doing the commercial for the Los Angeles Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah, she's the first release for 2008 is her singing California Dreaming.
It was good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has a great voice.
She does.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
on
When I saw that
Instagram.
movie, I didn't realize she was such a good singer until Jamie told me about that movie. We went to see it. Sung Blue.
But yeah,
she was on Glee.
Yeah,
she sang on Glee.
She sure
Yeah,
did.
David told me that. I didn't remember that. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah.
And she had that great song in 9 about
Yes.
Mambo Italiano, Cinema Italiano. Great song and dance number.
Yeah. She's very talented. But yeah, I've got to go look up Rigoletto now because I was like, I felt like I didn't understand the closing ceremonies because I'm not well versed in opera. It's like, okay. It's like, it was a lot, and I was like, okay, now what's happening and why? So I think if I go look at the plot of Rigoletto, maybe I'll figure it out.
Well, and they don't sing that opera in English either. They're
No.
not American. Not American. All that Italian they sing in that.
Well,
opera.
but Rigoletto is a beautiful opera, though, and it has some amazing arias in it.
But that little character that kept popping up, it's like, it was very confusing, they didn't have the athletes come out of the stands and dance like they normally do.
Huh? Oh, really?
But it was really cool. It was in a Coliseum in Verona. It wasn't, but it looked like the Coliseum in Rome, but it was in Verona. It was very, very cool place to have it.
Hey, Jack, did you see the little video I made of you talking about Big Mama Thornton?
Yes, I did. Oh, I've got a correction on what I said yesterday.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't two Jews from New York City. It was 2 Jewish kids from L.A. that wrote that song.
Oh, they were in L.A.
Yeah, and one of them was in high school, and the other one was a freshman in college. So they weren't even 20 years old yet when they were writing for
Is that right?
a hard drinking, smoking black blues woman.
Yes, I actually put this on. It did real well on this. This did real well on TikTok. I also put this on TikTok. Just 37.
Big Mama Thornton was an old blues player. She's the one original did the Hound Dog. You know, which is kind of interesting. Elvis made it more popular, of course. Of course, it was written by 2 Jewish guys in New York City, which is even more interesting.
I ain't gonna feed you no more.
See, that's
the other one to look up is Sister Ozetta Sharp. Look up her.
That's the kind of 27 seconds that does well on TikTok.
But yeah, look up Wikipedia article on Stoller and Lieber, or Lieber and Stoller.
Huh.
So they did Kansas City too, and they did Jailhouse Rock for Elvis.
Is that right?
They did a whole lot of different things in the 50s.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Well, is the picture you have up part of the Constable Turner?
You know, this just showed up at the end of that video. YouTube just threw something else up there. They do that all the time. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's like
well, PBS has a documentary coming up about the competition between Constable and Turner painting era in England, and that's what I thought this might be.
I wanted to get.
They said something about Turner's colors being the way they were because of all of the pollution from the Industrial Revolution. That's why they looked like that. Is because that's how the sky looked, because it was there was a lot of atmosphere.
And it was the whole land and sea with Constable doing all the hayricks and rural countryside, and Turner doing all the seascapes. So it was a major artistic development in the era. We talk about weird stuff during this hour.
Queen, who was that woman we played yesterday that Dennis told us about? Queen something? Queen?
Omega.
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 Yeah.
Hi,
Opal.
I played a little of her yesterday. And
we think so.
Hey,
You chased them all away.
I think they're afraid
they've been
of
very
you,
quiet.
I think they're afraid of you. I think YouTube robots are figuring out how to weed them out, actually, which is kind of disappointing. I really don't want to lose them all.
They are a little entertaining.
Yeah. And but hey there, Opal.
But we've got leprechauns.
We do have leprechauns, and we've got Opal.
Well, I was going to say,
and we have Winterland.
I wanted to give Renee, I like this Renee's meme this morning here.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I found this Queen. When I played this Queen Omega yesterday, I only played a little of it because of the fact that I didn't know what the copyright issues might be. And what I discovered, when I played it, YouTube flagged it, but it didn't restrict it. It's only restricted in Russia. So for some reason, the only country where Queen Omega is you're not allowed to play Queen Omega. So when I play Queen Omega, we lose all our Russian viewers, I guess.
I did look her up. I did look her up and see who she was, and I guess she is from Trinidad.
Oh, really?
And she converted to, she's a Rastafarian now, and she does roots reggae. But she started with calypso and whatever else they do down there in those islands as a backup singer. So I'm gonna have to get her into my playlist for my.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, we depend on you for all the music, Esoterica.
Yeah. That playlist you made for starting with Lawrence Fishburne and then going to all those other greats, that's a wonderful playlist. It really is. I'm afraid to play them on here because the copyright stuff will probably get Charlie Parker and some of those are their estates are pretty aggressive.
Some of that stuff there was the session stuff that were a live recording, and it was really cool and fun, and they pulled it down for copyright. Somebody owns the copyright to the video. And I guess they figured they can, well, you know. Which reminds me of reading an article in the LA Times, and you know, what's the name of the newest generation coming of age? Anyway,
is it Alpha?
They are starting to buy DVDs rather than do streaming.
Is that right?
Yeah. Of course, I started doing that because my streaming bill was getting too big.
Well, the problem is computers now don't come with DVD or CD players.
They don't.
Yeah. So that's going to present a problem for them.
And I had to buy one to hook into my TV.
Yeah. Well, you know, about half a year ago, I decided to convert some of my old movies that home movies, family movies, to digital, because I'd converted them in the past from their original Super 8. I mean, some of mine go back to the 50s and 60s. I had converted them over the years from Super 8 to VHS. So the last technology I had them in was VHS. So I wanted to switch them to digital, and I could not. I discovered they literally do not make VHS players anymore. I had to get one on eBay in order to play it, so that I could convert all those movies to digital. They literally don't make them anymore. You have to get them used. I think DVD players, though, you can still get.
Yeah, you can get I got a Blu-ray here recently.
Yeah.
Because basically what I was finding with the streaming with Netflix and with Amazon is basically You know, I swear now I've got a bigger collection of movies that I can play than I can stream from Amazon. You know, anything.
Oh, yeah, Opal. Yeah, Opal's got a point here. The problem is streaming services remove content regularly, so you cannot watch it. And if you buy and download content, they can make it unwatchable. Physical media is the way to go. Yeah, that's a good point about physical media versus streaming. Is once you get a DVD, Netflix or they can't control. They can't say you can't play that song.
Yeah, that's
stop that. Yeah, that's a good point about physical media.
And I've kind of gone that way with some of my software. I've got a computer in my back room that I don't let it get online because I don't want Microsoft messing with my Microsoft software.
Oh, yeah.
I bought 15 years ago. It works.
Oh, okay. I see, Opal.
Oh, what? Oh, you hadn't seen Opal before?
Mm-hmm. No, I just saw what he said now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. There's a lot of times when my kid wants to watch something and I look up to where it's at, and I look up and it says, oh, it's on this service. So I go there and it's not there anymore because they took it away 3 weeks ago. They'll bring it back, but then you don't know how long it's going to be there. That's why it's nice when like people have lists of what is leaving what streaming service when. Like Netflix puts that out, so but other streaming services do not. And right now I'm mad at Netflix, so.
Well, I cut out Netflix. They just didn't have enough to watch for the money.
What are they up to now? I haven't paid attention because when I first got it, they've upped the price.
Well, because the Melania movie did so well, they've offered her a series on Netflix.
Oh, you're kidding. Are you serious?
Supposedly.
Oh, my God.
Also, they're talking about ousting Susan Rice from their board of directors.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump complained about Susan Rice, said Netflix will be.
Yeah, well, Netflix has to have more balls right now. Sorry, not sorry.
What do we think's going to happen to State of the Union tomorrow? We'll get ready for that. What are we going to do for State of the Union? Anything?
Ugh.
Orange is the new Russian. I like that.
I think so.
That's a good line. That's a good line.
Think it is. I don't know. What do we do for State of the Union? He says it's going to be a long one because he's got lots to talk about.
Oh, boy.
Well, of course
if he goes on for 10 minutes about Nicki Minaj's nails, I'm going to die.
Now, who's going to take a bullet for the gang and watch it so we don't have to?
I'll probably watch it. I watch it.
Oh, God.
Oh, we want you to go to the press club.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a great deal more fun to go to the press club.
It would be a lot more fun.
I've Ubered there many times. It's only about a $6 Uber ride from Trail Mix headquarters to the press club is about a $6 Uber ride. So I wouldn't have a whole lot of excuse not to do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
They actually have a pretty good bar at the National Press Club.
You think he's going to cry?
We used to go on Taco Tuesdays. He's going to cry. Well, the thing I am interested in what he's got to say about Ukraine and Russia, because we're at today. I think today is actually the 4-year anniversary of the invasion. The invasion 4 years ago today, I believe.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. They're going to write him up a speech, and he's going to wander off into his old political speeches, and all of his grievance list and all of that.
And it's going to be interesting to see what he says to the Supreme Court, because he won't be able to resist. He's going to say something. There's so many.
There's
so many rabbit holes he could crawl into tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You almost have. Oh yeah, that's right, Opal. I had seen that. I think Virginia Giuffre's brother and family.
Yeah.
They're going to be there. Epstein survivors. Yeah, that'll be triggering.
Yeah.
You know, there used to be a time when the State of the Union mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you have to go back 20 years to find the one that matters now.
Yeah, they're mostly memorable for stunts, the things that happen.
Yeah.
I like the article that said, forget about it. It doesn't really need to be done.
Yeah. Nowadays we have social media and we have sources where we can look up stuff. We know what's going on every minute of every day. Why do we need to have the State of the Union anymore?
Well, the Constitution requires the president deliver a statement to Congress on the State of the Union, but he could just put that on his Truth Social and fulfill his constitutional obligation, as if he even cares about the Constitution.
But also, when has Trump ever followed the Constitution?
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those that it's become. I don't know. When did they start doing this?
Is what it is at this point.
That's fairly recent.
I think Woodrow Wilson was the first one to actually show up in person and deliver the State of the Union. I think it was Woodrow Wilson, and that started the tradition.
That was why I was saying. I knew it was in the 20th century, so back a little farther, 100 years ago.
Well, we've killed another hour, and we've got Queen Omega to run us off. We'll let Queen Omega run. Oh, Opal's got one last thing to say. Call it the stain of the Union. Opal, you got away with words, man. You got away with words. That's a good one. Stain of the Union. We ought to maybe tell Pat D to make that the headline tomorrow on Trail Mix. The stain of the Union.
Well, isn't it The Swamp?
Yeah.
The show, the one that's going to be the replacement one, State of the Swamp.
That's the one at the press club.
Yep.
Oh, that's the press club one. Oh yeah. The State of the Swamp. That's good. Okay, well, we'll get back on it over on Trail Mix and back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Getting ready for the State of the Union.
Farewell, folks.
Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe.
Yep. And Opal, good to see you again. Get over on trailmix.cc and talk to us there also.
Bye, everybody.
We're always there. So here's Queen Omega.
Let them know, little lion. We say the song man got no love in them hearts. We see them gone, no love in this world. Many lose them soul under mind control. We see the song man got no love in them hearts. We see them gone, no love at all. That's why this wicked jump on them off fall. Little lion say, you got to really deal in righteousness. Equality for the people wants peace and justice. Freedom of choices and the right to take a stand against the great deception played upon the nation. We no need no glasses to see that them no care them what we kill. We a mission and spoil we career. Look how them poison the atmosphere with all them hatred and greed, injustice and fear. Cause them got no love in them hearts. We see them gone, no love in this world. Many lose them soul under mind control. Them jump on and got no love in them hearts. We see them gone, no love at all. Little lion song rules over all and all. Yeah, happy stand tall. Wicked song happy fall. I tell them, little lion song no local, we international and we global. I'll tell you this, don't call we no local song this. Cause we are ambassador in this business. Little lion tongue, no local. We international and universal. I'll tell you this, don't call we no local sound this. Little lion, Lord of the country, blaze up the chalice. Come make we rally in the name of cannabis. It's the holy herb, ancient practice. Never label marijuana with your blackness. Little lion song, I burn Babylon. Cause say it's okay for man to move underhand. Every day and ridicule the good ganja man. No wonder why the crime rate is respond the land. The people need the trees to hold a meditation. And the working class what to ease them tension. Little lion sound, burn them down. Don't call we local, we international and we global. I'll tell you this, don't call we no local sound. This little lion sound, now run this reggae business. No, we no local, we international and we global. Little lion sound, #1 sound.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.